everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yes, it has been 3 months again since I posted on the channel. I feel like a lot of the time when I'm coming back to the channel, I say a similar thing in that usually I tend to post like a few videos here and there, and then I take like a 3-month hiatus with no explanation. And to be totally honest, this time is no different. I don't have any like super valid excuses or anything like that. I have just been really busy and living life, and also, to be totally honest, the way that I was doing my content before has felt less and less aligned for me, just in terms of like mindset shifts that I've been going through. And I don't want to be somebody online who is like perpetuating hyper productivity, you know what I mean? Not that that's ever what I was trying to do, but if you're a returning viewer to the channel, you would know that I've done a lot of, productivity type videos, and like the 12-week year challenge where like you try to get your dream life essentially in 3 months. A lot of things like that. I have just made a lot of content that tends to fall into the productivity niche, which is totally fine because I'm still, I'm all about self-growth and like evolving as a human being. But I have just come to realize over the last 3 months that the way in which I've been doing that throughout my entire channel, to be honest, has been very rigid and very non-gentle with myself and very non-fluid, essentially. And it hasn't really left much space for honoring my intuition and honoring the fact that I'm like a human being also, And so that's not to say this channel isn't going to include things about, productivity in gentle ways. And fitness and healthy living and all that stuff that still matters to me, right? But I am definitely changing my approach. So anyways, yeah, that's just a little gist of what I've been feeling and thinking over the last 3 months, and that's kind of like a mini explanation as to why I've like kind of been holding back from posting on this channel, I guess, because it just hasn't felt right for me. I have been posting on my second channel where I just literally sit down and talk for however long I want to, and I post it, and I do very minimal editing. And yeah, so I've been channeling a lot of energy into my second channel because that has felt a lot more natural for me, since literally all I have to do is sit down and talk, right? So that removes a lot of barriers of like perfectionism. And so that's been really nice to have, but it has also caused me to kind of fall behind on my main channel. And so I do apologize for that, and I'm sorry if you guys were excited and waiting for a new video in the 12-week year series. I know I said in my last video on this channel, I think I said something about how I would be doing like a glow up and everything and like a major reset and then doing another like 3-month challenge. Yeah, I never did that. Like, don't get me wrong, over the last 3 months, I have filmed a lot of stuff. Like, I've made little vlogs here and there. I did attempt starting a whole new 12-week year thing. And then because of all the mindset shifts that I just talked about, it just kind of never followed through because it started feeling just like the habit tracking and all of that stuff for me right now at this phase of my life doesn't feel necessary, and it doesn't feel helpful to me anymore. I think that that phase in itself was helpful in its own way because it showed me that I can stick to something for an extended period of time and remain disciplined. And I think that's really valuable in itself. But it feels like now that I have this trust in myself, I don't feel the need to be so rigid anymore with like, you have to work out this many times per week, or you have to eat like this, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I've just had it with placing my value in the things that I do and in the ways that I do those things. And for me, that has looked like stepping away from the grind set, stepping away from the habit trackers, right? So I've still been taking care of myself, in my own way. I've still been journaling, I've still been moving my body and all the other things, but in a much slower sense, in a much less pressureful sense. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm all over the place, and I apologize for that because it's been so long since I posted something on this channel, and there's so many thoughts in my head, and there's so many like updates. But yeah, that's a gist as to why I have felt, not as called to post on this channel And not to mention the fact that I filmed so much stuff over the last few months and never posted any of it just kind of added more and more and more pressure to everything, because I would tell myself, you know, you can't post a totally new, fresh video until you get through this old footage. And, you know, you promised that you would post the glow up video and the reset, and then I never did. So then I felt like I couldn't post another video until I posted those things. So I've just really been holding myself back with a lot of mental blocks. And I've had to come to a place where I have realized that that exact way of thinking is exactly what has held me back for my whole life. And it is not serving me. I mean, it has never served me, but it is definitely not serving me now. And so I'm really proud of myself for finally like dropping all of that, dropping all of the previous video ideas I had, and just sitting down and filming a video, because I miss interacting with you guys. And I was really excited to be growing my audience and to be, you know, getting to know you guys. And, you know, I just love making videos. I think it's really fun and a really cool way to express yourself and document your life and document your learnings and lessons through life. And I have missed that. I just wanted to come on here as present day me and update you guys and film whatever video I felt like filming. And so that's what this is. There's no template, there's no structure to this. This is not a reset. This is not a productive day in my life. This is just me filming a video because I want to connect with you guys again, and I want to pour back into this channel in a totally new way. Like, this is a totally new chapter for me, and this is something I'm committing to. Yeah, I just feel that it's really important for me at this time in my life to live through flow and intuition. That's not to say that that doesn't include discipline in its own way, but it is to say that I have had it with the way in which I have been, you know, practicing discipline in my own life. And I heard someone recently differentiate between discipline and devotion. And I really feel like the chapter I'm stepping into is a devotion to myself rather than a discipline of myself, right? So rather than telling myself that I need to do X, Y, and Z to essentially maintain my value and worth as a human being, or at least that's the impact it has on my psyche when I do, you know, tell myself I have to do X, Y, and Z today. Rather than doing that, I'm stepping into the devotion to self, which is the, you know, following intuitive nudges. And yes, honoring that it's important to take care of your mind, body, and soul, but doing it in a much more intuitive way. Doing it in a way that is not, I'm gonna feel guilty if I don't go to the gym. And I am really excited about it because I also realized I don't wanna be somebody who pushes hyperproductivity and discipline on the internet in general, because for so long I fell into so many self-help communities, and there's a lot of really great stuff in that, and all of that stuff kickstarted my self-growth journey as a whole. So of course I still have love and respect for those creators and for that way of thinking and doing things, and for like structuring your life as if it's a project to be fixed or like something to be won, you know what I mean? That has its own place, that has its own value for people with certain goals. But I have just, I guess, realized that my goal is to feel good in my life as a human being, and that being so hard on myself and setting such high expectations is not conducive to that. And so yeah, I'm stepping into a much softer way of living, which, you know, again, like I already said earlier, that still includes growing as a person. It just means growing as a person in a way that honors my intuition in every present moment, rather than growing as a person in a templated way where I feel like if I don't do it that particular way, it's wrong. Like, I don't want to operate that way anymore. I'm operating in a way of honoring what I need in any phase of my life. And I'm currently in a phase where I need to just honor the way in which I want to grow right now, you know? And yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbering on about all of that. If you guys are curious what I have been up to in the last few months, honestly, it's not much different than what I documented before, I've been working like 5 days a week at the cafe, so I've been really busy there. I've been doing more dog walking and pet sitting. I've been really enjoying that. It's a really lovely way to make a little bit of extra money, get some fresh air, spend time with animals. It's incredible. And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot more of that. I've been doing art commissions. I have essentially stopped doing video editing for any clients because that's another thing that I guess I came to realize over the last few months, that was just stressing me out more than anything. And I realized I don't want a long-term career in video editing, so why would I continue to do that, right? So yeah, that's what I've been up to in the last few months, and it's been keeping me really busy. And also a lot of things have been happening in my personal life, good things, emotional things, a lot of things. And so I've just been also spending a lot of time with myself processing those things. And in general, the last few months have been very spiritual for me, I would say, in terms of just diving deeper into my spirituality and into the present moment and into having a perspective of gratitude for the way my life is right now, rather than constantly trying to change it and fix something. I feel like a totally different person than the last time I came onto this channel. And I hope you guys can feel that, because I don't want my content to be forced and inauthentic. Not that I was ever trying to make it that way, but it was that way because I was forcing myself to do things because I thought it was a good thing for me to do, rather than doing things because I just felt like putting the camera down and filming a video, right? Which is what I'm doing right now. And so going forward, my content is going to look like this, where I just want to document my life for the sake of documenting my life, for the sake of a beautiful space of just self-expression, for the sake of sharing any thoughts, feelings, life lessons along the way, all of that stuff. That's the point of this channel going forward. And it's not going to be as thoroughly edited, I don't think. Overall, I just kind of want to like peel back. You know what I mean? I want to just be more real with you guys and stop being so perfectionistic with these videos and let them just be the art that I want them to be, instead of making them fit into a certain mold that I'm envisioning in my mind, right? I just want to film the video, edit the video, not think about it, use the music that I feel like using, use the font that I feel like using without stressing about the final product. You know what I mean? Just like trusting the process, I guess. And so that's what this new chapter is. And I'm really excited about it. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. Yeah, I'm so grateful for everybody who is still here watching me, everybody who has ever watched one of my videos, liked, commented, subscribed, you know, all those things. It's not about the numbers. It's just about people caring about and engaging with my content, and the knowing that if I can make a small positive change in someone's day, at least that's my goal. And even just to express yourself authentically and creatively, I think is a beautiful mirror for anybody watching to then feel permission in themselves to do the same. And so that's also another reason that I wanted to come back onto this channel, is to confront that fear of being seen and fear of being judged, and just come on here and share whatever I want to share. And in doing so, hopefully show you guys that it's safe to do that in your own life as well, in whatever way that is, you know? And so, yeah, thank you so much for being here. I have so much gratitude for you guys. I feel so like warm and fuzzy right now because I'm just really excited to be back, and I'm really excited to be honoring this new way of approaching things and not trying so hard to be a certain type of person anymore. Like not trying to fit into any certain type of identity, but just being. That's all this channel is going to be, is just me being and sharing that with you guys. And I'm really excited for that. And I hope you guys are excited for that. And again, I'm sorry if you were looking forward to the more structured content. And, you know, I still want my videos to be a motivating, inspiring space for people, but also a real space for people where you can feel seen. Like I mean, that's always something I've tried to do on my channel, is to show low moments too, so that, you know, I just think when you see the humanness in other people, it also validates the humanness in yourself, and it's just a validating experience. So I've always aimed to be authentic and share everything on my channel anyways, but especially in this chapter, I just feel like I'm stepping into a more real way of doing that, I guess. And I'm really excited for that. So this channel still is a space for motivation and productivity and becoming the best versions of ourselves and all of that stuff. It's just going to be presenting itself in a very different way. I think I just want to document my life for the sake of documenting my life, for the sake of romanticizing life, for the sake of capturing the beauty of life. I want to show my best days and my worst days and everything in between. And, you know, still the fitness routines and meditating and journaling and healthy eating and all of that stuff and romanticizing life. I do think those are all important, beautiful things, but it's coming from a space of doing it when my mind, body, and soul urge me to do it, instead of doing it because it's on my habit tracker. You know what I mean? I think that embodies the gist of the way that this channel is changing. I think that that's the most succinct way of saying it, that this is still a channel for inspiration and becoming the highest versions of ourselves. It is just a very different way of doing so. Instead of doing things because we have a vision of ourselves in our mind and we want to be exactly that now, and we want to fix the present self to become that future version of ourselves, and the way of getting there being checking off all the habits on your habit tracker, instead of approaching things in that way, I'm approaching it from listening to intuitive nudges in the present moment and doing what feels good in the mind, body, and soul in any present moment, and trusting that in honoring that is how you also get to that same future version of yourself, but through a way that feels a lot kinder, through a way that feels a lot more natural, and ultimately in a totally self-integrated way, right? In a way where we are also being kind with ourselves. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. That is everything for this video. I'm so grateful for you being here. I'm really excited for this new chapter. And again, I'm sorry if you were looking forward to the 12-week year series and the resets and all of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, there will still be that type of content in its own way, like resets and decluttering and all that stuff, but in a just a more chill way. So I guess that is everything for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this switch up in the comments down below. I would love to know what type of like format of videos you guys prefer. Let me know what you do want on my channel. Let me know what you're looking forward to. I know I've received comments of people asking me about like how I edit my videos and about just like how the freelance journey as a whole is going, and other random things. So jog my memory and let me know in the comments what type of content you guys want to see from me, both in terms of the content and the form. So like, what types of things do you want me to make videos about? And do you want like vlogs? Do you want sit down videos like this? Like, what is it? You know, I would love to hear your take on things. I would love to hear the type of content that you guys would want to be seeing more. Yeah, I guess that's everything for this video. Oh, by the way, I never addressed, maybe nobody noticed, but I just realized that I never addressed why my background looks so drastically different. It's because I'm cat sitting right now. This is not my place. I didn't move apartments, unfortunately. Love my apartment, but you know, that is everything for this video. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, okay, bye.